So guys, search for ECS. Search for ECS. So which is your elastic container service. ECS is for elastic container service. So what is the use of ECS? As I already told you, if you have less workloads and all, you can use ECS. If you have heavy workloads and all, you can use, what is the service which you use when you have heavy workloads? Huh? See, we have told you ECS, fargate, EKS. So what is the purpose of ECS? What is the purpose of fargate? And what is the purpose of EKS? See, open your books, refer and tell what is ECS for, what is fargate for, and what is EKS for. ECS is for less workloads. And what is fargate? Serverless container service. And next, what is EKS? Elastic Kubernetes service, which is used for heavy workloads. So first we'll see with ECS, next we'll go with fargate, and later we'll discuss EKS. And finally we have to monitor all these EKS clusters, your EC2 instances, storage, so all these things will be setting up. So careful guys, this is one of the complicated topics. Easy to understand, but when practicing it will be too clumsy. You won't be able to understand after that. So I'll take you step by step. Please try to follow the steps. If you are not focusing, you will not understand. So in ECS, you have to create a cluster first. See, as my EC2 instance, I don't have, see, as my account, I don't have any clusters. So let's create some clusters. And next you have something called as service. So note down ECS main components. So ECS main components, task definitions and service manager. Okay, so ECS is having task definitions and service manager. So while creating the cluster, you will come to know what is task manager and what is service manager. So first, click on create cluster. So this cluster will be integrating with a lot of other services as well. So you have to please be careful. So this ECS will be integrated with a lot of other AWS services also. So we'll see what are the other AWS services now. So first, there is auto-generated name for the cluster. So if you want, you can keep it, or else if you want, you can change the name. So let's change the name to a simple name. See, my cluster. Okay, name of the cluster is my cluster. It is asking service connect details, so no need of it. Just keep it a default. And in the infrastructure, it is asking for fargate and as well as EC2 instances, right? So first we'll go with EC2. First we'll go with EC2. Next we'll go with fargate. So in the EC2 instance, it is asking you to create a new security group. Auto scaling group. So if you want, you can create an auto scaling group directly here, or else you can create your own auto scaling group and you can attach it here as well. Either both the cases you can do. Got it, guys? Either you can create auto scaling group directly from here, or go to auto scaling group, create your own auto scaling group and then attach here. So if any auto scaling groups are there, it will reflect here. Okay? So let's create an auto scaling group directly here. And provisioning model, on demand and spot instances are there. So spot instance in the sense there will be unused EC2 instances where in future, if your load is not sufficient, you can attach those EC2 instances to cluster. That is on spot. And then you have on demand. On demand means by default how many instances you are giving here, those instances will be launching, and other EC2 instances you cannot add. Okay, so we'll go with on demand, and it is asking which type of AMI you wanted to choose. So either you can use any of the operating systems. So let's take a recommended thing which is already selected. And next it is asking you to create a new role. So as we don't have any role, so let the role get created by itself. So let me go to roles and see what other roles are there. So need to go to IAM. See in the IAM, if you see the roles, see I don't have any roles. So these three are the default roles which are created while creating your EC2 instance. Okay. So no roles are attached. So let me keep the default role. So and how many EC2 instances you require for this? How many EC2 instances you require for this? So we'll be having only one EC2 instance because it affects your charging. So it affects your charges. So we'll keep maximum 1 and minimum 1. So we'll keep maximum 1 and minimum 1 EC2 instance. Next, SSH key pair. So if I don't have SSH key pair, I think I'll be having key pairs, but why it is not showing? See, I have 3 SSH key pairs. Let me refresh the page and see. Okay, if it's not showing, so let's create a new key pair. My cluster EC2 instance. Create new ASG. Okay, let's keep minimum as 1, maximum 1. So create a new key pair. ECS key. Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll create our own security group. Auto scaling group, and let's see. So we'll create our own auto scaling group first. So create auto scaling group. So the name of the group is, so I think for this we need a launch template. But why this is not showing up any EC2 instances SSH key? Actually it has to show the SSH keys here, but I don't know why it is not showing. Okay, so let's do with fargate. We'll see that later. So let's go with the fargate and let's do the EC2 thing later. So select fargate and click on create. So wait for some time, guys. So your fargate ECS cluster will get created. So if you see here, there is a pop-up blinking, which is your cloud formation. Okay. I think we are facing some network issue. Create cluster. My cluster. Let's see now if it is coming. Okay. Create. Okay, cluster got created. So guys, cluster got created. Once after cluster is created, the next thing which you have to do is your task definitions. See what is there in the task definitions. So in the task definitions, so if you see here, I think one more role will be created. See, if you see, one role has been created by itself. Next, go to your task definitions, create new task definition. So task definition name can be of anything. So my ECS task definition. My ECS task definition. Next we'll be selecting launch type as fargate. And let's select the default operating systems, recommended operating systems, and task roles. So there are no task roles which are created. So go to IAM console. So I'm already in IAM console. One second, guys. Task execution role, let's create a new role. So as we don't have any role for this. And coming to the containers, let's give container name as Nginx and your image URI. So where do you find your image URI? In your ECR. I'm taking a public repository. So I'm not taking any private repository. I'm using only public repository. So if you click on the image, you will be having your URI. So copy the URI and paste it in this location. And whether it is an essential container or not, you can select. Yes, this is my essential container. Next, what ports you wanted to open the ports, and in the name of the container port is, you can just provide some 80. So it is just asking the name. Name is not, shouldn't be 80, can be anything else. And coming to the resource allocation, so completely one volume of CPU you should not use, because it will be totally exhausted. So instead we'll use 0.25 volumes of CPU, and memory limit also, let's keep it some 512 MB. So 1 GB half, how much it will be? 512 MB. Next, no need of environmental variables. So CloudWatch logs will be created by itself. And next, click on create. So task destination will be created. So you have your task defined. You need to attach this task definition to your cluster. So now you understood what is task definition. So what is task definition? The service where you add your container is your task definition. So we'll add containers, your Docker containers or Docker images in the task definition. So it is one of the service of ECS, sub-service of ECS. So when someone is asking what is task definition and all, so it is one of the service related to ECS. So now we'll create a service. Service is for running your container. You are running your image as a container. Service is the place where you run your Docker image in the ECS. So let's create a service. So task definition family. So this is my task which I created. So task definition. So let's take it. It has taken some default name for. So let's keep it default. And service name, it has been created. And launch type. What is the launch type? It's not EC2, it's a fargate. And next, desired tasks 1, health check will give some 300 seconds. So 300 seconds in the sense it's a 5 minutes. So for every 5 minutes, it will be checking the health systems or health managements. And coming to load balancer, you would use load balancing. So what type of load balancer you want? You want your application or network load balancer. So we need application load balancer. So container is 8080. So we don't have any existing load balancer, right? So we'll use create a new load balancer and name your load balancer as my ECS LB. My ECS LB is your load balancer. So LB stands for load balancer. So create a new listener. So listener in the sense on which port your application should run. So that is the listener port. And a target group. So as I don't have any target groups, so target groups is one of the sub-service for which service? What is target groups? It is a sub-service for which other AWS service? Load balancers, another service is target groups, where you add all your EC2 instances. So let's use create new target group, and target new group name is also my ECS target group, and it should be running on port 80 and ping path is /. So click on create. So if you see the services, the service should reflect here. So it takes a while. So if you see the cloud formation, you can able to see what are all the other services which are creating. So this is my cloud formation. See what are the other services it is working with. See what are the other services it is working with. Target group, load balancer, and your ECS cluster. These things and all it is working with. If you see here in the cluster, a service will be reflected. So let's wait until it is completely done. It takes some minutes because target group should launch, your load balancer should launch. So let's go to EC2 and let's check load balancer and all. See, it is creating a new load balancer. And if you go to target groups, it will be creating a new target group also. Let's wait until this cloud formation takes place completely. So I'll stop the video and I will resume it.